Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Everyone, we are back. We are doing Dungeon Frights and Anime Fights. This is episode 69. The name of this episode is, uh,
It super isn't.
it's not. But when we get there, that's going to be a milestone, let me tell you. That is going to
Sure
be
will.
the milestone.
I've been on a quest to find. I'm always on a quest to find like hobby tools.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm also signing into Twitch as we're sitting here talking.
So am I. I forgot to do that. Oops.
What do you mean password's incorrect? I'm on the quest to find like good hobby tools all the time. And I was in Walmart the other day and I found this. Now this appears to be a pen, right?
Okay, that looks pretty nice.
It's actually a little X-Acto knife.
Oh, shit.
I want to like this thing a lot. I have big issues with it. It's super dull. It's got a nice tip on it. You can scrape some mold lines and stuff with it. I'll probably put it in my bag for like Adepticon and stuff, but it's not as sharp as I wanted it to be. I figured it was maybe just a smaller blade and I could get, replacement little blades. It is not. It's like a proprietary little cartridge.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that's kind of disappointing. I hate proprietary things.
Yeah, nope, that's really stupid.
But for a long time, I've wanted a hobby knife without a lid, meaning I can still put it up and it can be safe, and it's not just an exposed X-Acto blade. So it led me to this little guy on Amazon, $10.
What is that, Neva brand? Oh,
Nova.
Nova.
It's flat, so it won't roll off your desk.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just retractable. This is just a standard X-Acto blade knife.
So you don't have to buy any proprietary parts.
Nope, you can buy the 100 pack of X-Acto blades for $7 or whatever.
See, the crazy thing is now that you're a father, you're like actively searching for safer options for things.
It's true. I was always looking for a better X-Acto knife situation because my old job I used to have been on call, and my cat knocked my X-Acto knife off my desk. It was resting against my desk leg, kind of like this, and I spun in my chair and I buried it in my foot.
Oh, fuck.
And let me tell you, that'll wake you up.
Yo, I'm sure. Like, X-Acto knives are meant to be sharp, like super sharp.
And that's probably what helped my foot too, is that it was so sharp.
Yeah. You know, they always say getting cut by a dull blade is way worse than getting cut by a sharp blade.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I've been trying to find some good hobby alternatives. I just finished up a commission for a Flesh Eater Quartz army.
Oh, yep, you were telling me about that.
They
were looking really good.
It's a fun army. I don't have any here because I already gave them to who I painted them for, but I painted the whole army for them. So it's just a continuation of that commission, and they're taking that to Minneapolis for the Renegade Open.
Okay.
Next weekend.
Nice.
I thought about playing in that, and I was like, eh.
Where's that located?
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I thought about playing in it, but it just didn't seem like I was ready for it. My armies are all kind of in a bit of a tough spot, except for Giants. Giants are sitting okay.
Giants are Giants. You have
Giants
6 models, but they're fucking...
It's a stat check army.
Yep.
Either you can deal with them or you can't.
Yeah. No, you've also been dedicating a lot of time to, like, other things at the moment. So, dropping everything, going up to the cities, and playing in a tournament. Not ideal.
Yeah, not super ideal. And, Harvest just ended for us, so now I'm starting to get some time back. Recouping some time with my family because I don't see them a lot during that time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're really excited for that post harvest vacation.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good for you.
It is. But since I have really done that, I haven't really done any painting on my own stuff. I painted a couple Stormcast, because Plague has gone whole hog into Stormcast.
Listen, Skaven will always have a special place in my heart, but my friendship
Skaven
is
are
over.
out.
They're out. I'm done. Visik Scour's a fucking trap.
So I painted up this guy.
He looks good. I like him.
We were just messing around with paint schemes a little bit because Plague's favorite color is green.
Yeah.
This is just like an easy to build liberator that your Warhammer store can give you. And then I painted up this Vigilor.
Yeah, Vigilor.
It's like a darker green. I cut the head off, put a hooded head on him.
This
is actually a Space Marine head.
Is that also a Dark Angel's head?
No, this is actually from the Death Watch kit. I do have some of the Dark Angel's hoods though.
They're very good.
And then I had another Vigilor that I haven't painted, but I've been messing around with like bits and stuff.
Okay. Little kit bash action.
Yeah, it's just a fun paint project.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know exactly. Well, I know exactly what caused my not hatred, but shelving of Skaven. So, we participated in a tournament a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it on the podcast.
Months ago now.
Yeah, insane how time flies. And I used Visik Scour. So when 4th edition of Age of Sigmar came out, Visik Scour got released for Skaven. He's supposed to be like this be-all, end-all centerpiece model that's a priest too. And he looks amazing on paper. But
he got just smacked.
Yeah.
In our tournament.
And I'm sure Visit could be good, but like we've been saying, he is a trap. Like you want to use him, but he doesn't fulfill any roles that Skaven didn't already have, and he's way too expensive points wise to consider bringing.
Correct. Like you're better off bringing the Plague Pack and a different Vermin Lord, and you'll still have points for another unit of Clan Rats or something.
Yep. And you've been saying this as well, that Skaven are a chess unit.
They're a chess army.
And I'm too new to Age of Sigmar to really fulfill that chess fantasy that the Skaven want. So I figured, you know what? I know when I'm too big for my britches. Let me back up. Let me play something a little bit more simple, something a little bit more streamlined, but still heavily appeals to me. And let me tell you, I think everyone... Enter the Stormcast. Storm Chads forever. Who doesn't love fucking Space Thunder Viking armored men? Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, Stormcast's really cool. You went whole in. You bought the Start Collecting.
Yep.
The Spearhead.
Yep. Krondus.
You bought Spearhead Krondus.
Lord Vigilant on Griftstalker.
Yeah. Yep. And then 2 boxes of Annihilators.
Yep.
And a box of the Axe dudes.
Oh, Praetors.
Yeah, Praetors.
Yeah, no. I am full in on Stormcast. You guys will come to learn that when I'm into something, I go all the way in. I tend to, if I dawdle on it too long, I usually second guess myself, and I usually end up missing out. So I either go big or go home. And this time I went big. And I'm having a lot of fun. I will say, Stormcast, probably some of the most fun models to paint.
They're so easy. They paint so fast.
So fast. And, you know, no matter what color scheme you use, the way the models, like, are, it's gonna look good.
Yeah.
Like, I have a little Night Vigilant on my desk that I just accidentally painted silver instead of gold. Still looks sick.
Yeah, he's really cool.
I used this army one time against Jesty here, and I shoot myself in the foot every time. I'm like, hey man, you should play Nurgle. You know what? Nurgle sounds like a good fight against Stormcast.
It's like it's one of the few armies they have a really tough time against.
Yeah, Nurgle can just disease and do mortals directly to Stormcast, which otherwise are pretty defense heavy.
Yeah, and I killed your big banner dude right away, which is so if you have any healing effects, instead of healing damage, you basically remove disease.
Yep. And that could have just Solved all my problems.
But he was a little bit out, and he got smacked by the Kronspine Incarnate.
Yep.
And a Beast of Nurgle, but mostly the Kronspine Incarnate.
And you were telling my wife at the same time, training wheels are off. He'll learn. You're gonna learn today.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, I need this guy more in the middle of the board, and he put him a little too far out, and I was like, yeah, I got him.
Yep. Yeah. Fucking got him.
After that, you just dump mortal wounds into stuff. Turns out 20 plague bearers when you pump them up to like 3 attacks apiece.
Yeah, they hurt.
Really, really good. They do mortals on 6s to hit.
Insane how tough that was for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for a while there. For the first 3 rounds, it was a pretty close game. We were sitting, like 10 point turns each, and then like a 10 and an 8, and then all of a sudden it ended up 26-42.
Yeah.
It was a full game. We did all 5 rounds, but
yeah, it pretty much came down to all you had left on the board was Krondus. We talked about it a bit. Krondus, Plague was playing with him more to not lose him. In his mind, thinking that he's like Vizek.
Right.
And he's not. He's much better than Vizek, and he can actually be in combat.
He wants to be in combat.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot that game, I will admit. And like I was talking to you immediately afterwards, I was like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. Oh, this should have gone off. I should have been better about that. And yeah, no, it's all a learning experience, especially as someone who's new to the game. And I say new, we've been playing for like 4 months now, but still, new to the game.
Yeah. A model got leaked on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
For the Orc War clans, and I told Plague, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna get something stupid, like a Hobgrot Slitaboss. You'll never fucking guess.
Wow. Crazy.
It's a Hobgrot Slitaboss, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's it. That's what orcs get.
Well, I think they'll get the Hobgrot Slitaboss, and I think they'll get the endless spells too. I think orcs will get their own set of 3 endless spells, much like the Skaven have.
Okay. I mean, that could be pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think it bumps Ironjaws to a point where they're strong again, but
you're gonna have some diversity.
Yeah, because right now it's like you take the Ironjaws Brawl. So if you roll 8 on a charge, you get an additional attack. And it's just last edition was like, oh, I bring 24 of the Gorgruntas. This edition, I think Gorgruntas are pretty bad.
And that sucks because
it does suck because I have 24 of them.
You've been telling me, so like I was like, man, orcs are really strong, and you're like, no, the fuck they're not. And I'm like, what do you mean? And you sent me a picture. He sent me a picture.
Their battle traits list is 2 things.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You have 2 options, and you're basically like a stat check, not a stat check army, but like what your characters have is what they have. That's what you got. You can only play with that. So hopefully the spells will add some variety.
Yeah,
which I'm sure
hoping
they
so.
will.
I'm hoping so because they need something.
So you like to play Ironjaws. Is there a different type of orc army you could play?
Yeah. So there's also there's the Ironjaws, which is like my main army, and then I also have a pretty large Crowboys army. I think I have like 50 Gut Rippas, 40 Hobgrots.
Okay.
12 of the Archer Boys, and then all the big monsters, except for the Vulture. I need a Vulture.
Gotcha. So, I mean, you do still kind of have options, but they're not just like with Space Marines and Death Watch, they're not Ironjaws.
Yeah, but last edition you were able to play Big Wall, which was the Savage Orcs, the Ironjaws, and the Cruel Boys all in one army.
Oh, fuck.
That's not allowed anymore.
You have to stick to just one.
Yep.
So
and Savage Orcs aren't in the game anymore. Well, they are, but at the start of the year they won't be allowed in tournaments anymore, and So they're basically out of the game.
So now again, I'm still pretty new, so I'm trying to understand this. So what you're saying is like you used to be able to take Hammers of Sigmar, Hollow Knights, and Blank all together, but now you can't.
Well, so for it is specifically an orc thing.
Okay.
A stormcast is a stormcast is a stormcast. Really, it doesn't matter how you paint them.
Gotcha.
Because it's just whatever your army rule you pick is.
Whereas these are 3 different kind of orcs that you used to be able to take together.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
mean,
Big Wall was like your Thunderhead host was Stormcast.
okay,
It was like an over thing that gave them special rules.
gotcha. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, here's hoping. Like again, Stormcast got their tome, and they got like 4 different brand new models. So hopefully you get more than just 2.
So what I Ironjaw's last edition, right towards the end of this edition, they got a bunch of new models.
So it might be a little bit.
Probably gonna be a bit.
Probably gonna be a bit.
Everyone's hoping for Cruel Boys Cavalry. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna be stuck with having 1 cavalry.
Only 1?
Well, they have some characters that are on cavalry that have the cavalry keyword.
Oh, okay.
Like Sludge Rager Beast. But I'm talking like the Great Gnash Tooth. He's like a big cat thing.
Oh, cool.
Everyone's like, where's just the regular Gnash Tooth? Why do we have to just have the Great Gnash Tooth?
Yeah, why can't I get a small Gnash Tooth?
You get a small Gnash Tooth.
You don't get a little small Gnash Tooth.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We'll see. They're likely the next book, especially with someone having their hands on the Hobgrot Slitaboss already.
right.
Because they were selling it on eBay.
He's like, well, I have it. I'm gonna sell it.
Yep.
Well, here's hoping that your new book comes with absolute fucking buffs all over the board. Now your normal fucking Ironjaw's cavalry units do 2s and 2s hits, 4 damage and attack.
Yeah, no, that won't be like that. That's insane. But
if you hit a 1, they just explode.
But no, we played a game, Stormcast first. Nurgle?
Yep.
I don't think I'm gonna switch to a Nurgle army anytime soon.
But you do see how strong Nurgle is.
Yeah, I have a better understanding how the army works.
Yep. It's also kind of nice to kind of have like a pocket army. Like, oh, fuck. Let's just say, at Adepticon, oh, I forgot all my minis. Oh, how did this happen? Someone's like, well, I have some Nurgle you could play. Cool, I know how to play it.
Well, you submit your lists at Adepticon before Adepticon.
Oh, well, then, yeah, you're kind of out of luck then. But still. Oh, I left all my guys at home. Oh, no.
I would just go walk the con at that point.
You're like, I'm fucking out. Nope, not doing this. So have you also been glued to your phone recently?
Not particularly.
No? Been opening up some packs?
If you're asking me about Pokemon Pocket, I have been playing Pokemon Pocket.
Let's go.
I finished up the event last night.
Gotcha.
So I got my Lapras EX and all that. I pulled a Gengar EX today.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I
think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that a lot of these arts, because this is like almost all original art for like these EXs and stuff.
Mhm.
I think they're so fucking good. I would love physicals of this.
Yeah. And maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're testing.
Could be. But yeah, no, you can now play the Pokemon TCG on your phone, but no, so people are playing it, but just like with anything that has, a limited number of possible decks,
A meta very quickly evolves.
a meta is just there. Like,
Don't give in.
don't play meta.
Coin flip bros for life.
Coin flip. Leave it up to chance. We love gambling.
Leave it up chance. Let
I'm
me tell you, the meta bros hate losing to coin flip decks. If you go up 2-0 on someone with a coin flip deck, they'll just leave.
Good. As they should.
It's so funny.
What fucking sucks is I was playing online a little bit before I knew what the meta was, and of course, I was like, oh, I pulled the cool Mewtwo art. I'm gonna play a Mewtwo deck. Before I even knew what the meta was. And yeah, then sure enough, I was getting like all these TikToks of people being like, fuck you! If you play Mewtwo in Gardevoir, you're a piece of shit! Motherfucker! And I'm like, I didn't even know that this was strong. I just liked them and I had the cards.
I'm wondering if the solo stuff is gonna keep going every time they release a set.
I hope so. I like the solo battles a lot.
I do too.
I think it's a cool way of like having a PvE environment where it's like, okay, let me come up with something to beat this guy.
What I like about it is you basically have two decks. You have a deck that's your trainers, your trainers and your Pokemon, and then you have a deck that's just energies.
Yep. You don't even have to worry about your energies.
Yep.
Which is really,
but
really
man,
nice.
going first fucks you.
It really does, man. You can't set up anything. You have no energy.
Can't bounce back. That's what it feels like. It feels like you really can't bounce back.
Well, especially when you're laying all of your Pokemon on the bench, and it's like, oh, hey, look, you just get to see what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Can't do anything.
I usually hold cards back, but
that's probably for the best. That's probably a good idea. I feel like, if you lay everything out right away, like for me, for example, throwing out a Mewtwo right away, people are going to know what I'm doing, and they're either going to deal with it or they're going to fucking stop it.
I'm currently running like a Zapdos EX deck.
Nice.
It's pretty fun, but it's slow. It basically relies on Zapdos EX and Snorlax EX. Because basically you just do his 100 damage, but you do 30 damage to Snorlax because Snorlax doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he's got like 250 health.
He's got 150, but
150 health. Like he can hit so much.
Yeah, you can do that attack 5 times as long as people aren't attacking your bench.
Yeah, I had to deal with that a little bit when I was starting off with what was I doing? I think it was a Venusaur deck, and I was like setting up Venusaur in the back, and all of a sudden, oh, your Venusaur is down to 20 HP. Haha. Oh man. But no, Pocket's good. It's fun opening packs. I wish that again, this is all digital cards, digital currency, so on and so forth. But because of that, I feel like you should be able to open up more packs.
Yeah, I wish when you have packs to open, I wish it was 3 packs instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when you open a pack, it's 5 cards. So it's like
1 pack every 12 actual hours.
Yep.
You could buy the pass.
You could buy the pass.
But then you only get 2 packs.
Yeah. I just grind the solos until I get enough for the little hourglass, and then I do it I buy packs from there. But
yeah, I still think that it's got good legs. Yeah, it can be something pretty good here. They started off strong. There's enough to collect.
Yeah, like I said, I my one gripe with it is opening 1 pack every 12 hours with 5 cards in it seems.
Yeah, it's kind of a slog. Oh, hey, it took me 5 days to pull 1 good card.
Yep.
Awesome. But, that's how they're going to make their money.
It gives like the illusion of you picked your pack.
Yeah. That's strong.
A thing comes down, it's like, and you can like spin it. That's what I was doing. I just like give it a good spin and then I just stop it, and that's the one I pick.
I had Kristen open a couple of packs and she did that. She just spun it for like 3 whole rotations and then randomly picked one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strong. Like, I know it doesn't matter, and it's probably all predetermined because most gacha games kind of are. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's strong. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference.
Yeah. You can also do Wonder Pick, that's a cool feature. I really like Wonder Pick.
I really like that, too, where you can kind of pick basically other people's cards.
Yeah, so basically, people open a pack, and then their pack gets put into, like, a lottery, basically. And then you open Wonder Pick on your side, and you get to see what other people pulled. And then you have 5 Wonder Picks an hour or something, or 5 Wonder Picks every 12 hours,
or something like that. Yeah.
And you spend a Wonder Pick, and it takes all 5 cards, shuffles them up, deals them back out. You pick one, and you get that card.
Yep, free extra card, and you can all obviously sift through and be like, "Oh, this guy pulled an EX. I want my 1 in 5 chance at that EX."
Yep.
Which surprisingly, I've been hitting those pretty regularly.
So the EXs though, usually they cost 2 of your wonder points.
Yeah, but there's still a good chance. A 1 in 5 chance is not bad,
Yep.
especially when you're pulling one pack every 12 hours.
Yeah.
But no, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I have spent a little bit of money on it. Because I mean, we knew this was going to happen.
What a shill.
But no, I mean, it is a lot of fun, and they keep it interesting. So
Yeah, I like it. I'm pretty happy with it overall. I have fallen back in love with Gundam,
yeah,
building Gundam kits.
you have been building a lot of Gundams recently.
I
What have you built?
I've really only been building high grades. I just built the what's it called? Oh, I had the box here. Strike Rogue.
Strike Rogue. Okay.
So I got him here on my desk.
Ooh.
I like this kit a lot.
That's a sick
To the
Gundam.
point where I'm pretty sure there's a perfect grade of it.
Taking that step.
I might be taking that step.
Yeah, I've not been following the Gundam community for a while, so I don't know what perfect grades are actually out there. I just know that my boy Tequila Gundam isn't one.
Tequila Gundam will never get made.
Never. It
Actually,
doesn't even have a high grade.
There was a G Gundam at our local game store that I did almost buy.
Oh.
So
Could be coming out.
it does have a master grade, so I am tempted by that.
So is master grade is one step below perfect, right?
Yep.
Because high grade is 1 in 112, and then master is 1 in 60.
The master is 1/100th.
Master is 1/100th. Gotcha.
I did some looking. There's a tabletop game of that you play with high grade Gundams. Seems, high grades are 1/44th.
Okay, gotcha. I'm honestly shocked. I think we talked about this, but I'm honestly shocked there's not a tabletop game with Gundams.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like what everyone has a big mech game.
Yeah.
And if you're playing a big mech game, why are you not playing BattleTech?
Yeah.
BattleTech's good.
But I mean, it is
BattleTech,
Gundam.
BattleTech, you buy an army for $20.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. What do you do? How do you compete with that?
To be fair, Gundam actually, they have recently announced that they are doing a card game. Like,
That's true.
super late into the game. Like, Gundam's been around for 40 years, and card games took off 30 years ago. 35 if you count Magic, but card games weren't really that big back then.
No.
Pokemon is what really set card games, like, through the roof.
Correct.
So, I mean, if they're getting into this that late in the game, maybe there's a chance.
Maybe. But having played BattleTech,
Is BattleTech good?
I like BattleTech a lot.
Okay. Yeah, there's
If you're
gonna
on
be
the
some
fence,
competition.
if you're on the fence about a miniature game and you're like, I just can't afford it, I don't. Look at BattleTech. About a box of five mechs, which is all you need to play the game. $20.
What's that other tabletop game you were talking about that we were gonna get into?
God tier.
God tier. Yeah, I want to play some fucking God tier.
So do I. I just need to pull the trigger and buy it.
Yeah.
But it's been so busy that I haven't had a chance.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the last 2 months, fucking hell.
Yeah. The issue is I don't want to paint God tier models. They're kind of like a rubbery type plastic, like game pieces, because that's what they are.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'd be kind of difficult to paint, and that paint will rub off.
Mm-hmm.
See, you could do a good job, but then you're not going to want to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Exactly. And the
quandary.
details are a little soft on them just because it is that soft, malleable plastic.
Yeah. But I mean, they are a lot stronger. So if you drop your
There.
entire, army, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, they come in they come in like a sealed box that you would just put them back into. Really, it would be nice if I had a bookshelf that had all the champions.
yeah.
You could just like walk up and like draft 3 of them quick.
Yeah, that would be nice. And that way you don't have to like lug them around and that will cause them to get scuffed. I mean, I'm sure you treat your models with respect. You try not to
Yeah.
break them.
Just cover that up.
Just cover all that up back there. Fuck, man.
Um,
Speaking of
yeah,
models, I am really, really excited for our next D&D session.
yeah, got
Yeah,
some stuff.
I have some stuff planned for my session, and I know Kristen's is going not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Yep.
Sorry, I said my wife's name, but people know.
Doxed your wife again.
Ah! Don't kill your wife.
Yeah. So on your campaign, my job is purchased like the big boy version of Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically described my character in Plague's campaign, and it spit out my character.
Exactly what you were imagining.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh.
AIs can
And
get pretty scary.
with Plague's wife being an artist, I feel guilty. Like I was like, ooh.
But it's there, and you're using it's there. You're able to use the big
Nuts.
version.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Because I play Adamar, who's a College of Scribes wizard, and like I was like male elf wizard. Give him because Adamar's like the classical gray robes, floppy hat wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, give him a hat, make the brim bigger, make him casting magic out of a quill, put a book in his other hand, and it just like would just make changes as I told it to.
And it yet still
like,
kept like the bones.
Yeah, I'm like, man, it's really cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool to play with. The issue comes when you start being like, I made this.
Yep.
As long as if you don't get to that point, I don't think anyone really. I think the general synopsis of it is people don't care as long as if you're not writing it off as your own.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I even sent it to. We're in a Discord, us and all of our friends. We were talking about it, and I was actually playing with it in a call, and I was talking to Plague's wife. And I'm like, what? I made my paladin in her campaign.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah. Which I would never use that art because she's made art of Torvalar before.
Yep.
So.
But it's just so cool to see what like a computer can come up with.
Yeah. What does a computer see your character as?
Yeah, I think that's a really cool way to do it. And I mean, I'll be honest. So I used to be really, really into like drawing when I was a lot younger. But the one thing I couldn't do was color. Like I'm colorblind as hell. Like the fact that I'm painting models, I'm basically following guides because I can't pick colors out to save my life.
So, true. I told Plague, do your own custom storm host, and he went, nah.
It's gonna be the ugliest fucking storm hosts. Like fuck.
But thank goodness the storm host is here.
Oh, brother, help! But it's nice seeing like one of these things that I will say about AI art is their colors that they use are always super good. So being able to see like your character in like these like high definition colors and shading that is very difficult for an artist to do, and so just being able to see that super cool.
It's really funny because you can tell that the AI has been influenced by media because Torvalar's a tiefling. I told it make me a tiefling paladin. Made a purple one. I said, okay, it didn't have horns either. I said, give him horns. Made a purple tiefling without horns. Make his skin red. Made it like a reddish purple. I was like, more red.
More.
And I was like, it's because in media it's very common for people to make purple tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
It also gave my tiefling a tail, which
Does Torb
technically
not
you
have a
asked,
tail?
Torv has a tail.
I was gonna say.
Torvar has a tail.
You couldn't see it. I almost fucking died sipping my coffee at 8:30 at night. I
You know,
just had a
like you
big
do.
coughing fit that I had to mute myself for.
Ah,
I almost fucking died.
classic.
Nah, I'm really excited for our next sessions. One, because we tend to, I think we can safely say that our D&D sessions have kind of devolved into once a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so now that just makes me more and more excited to play because there's more to think about, more to come
Yeah,
up with, more to like, oh,
we. Go ahead.
I was gonna say more to like try to imagine like for role
Mm-hmm.
play standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would be having D&D this weekend, but we as a group are going to see a comedian Saturday instead.
Yep.
So,
Fun little event, fun little get together.
yep.
The nice thing is that, you know, with playing with our actual friend group, you know, a lot of people kind of delve into, yeah, they're my D&D group, but I wouldn't hang out with them outside of D&D, but we do things outside of just D&D.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like you, me, and another friend of ours, we've been actually watching Arcane.
We have been watching Arcane.
Arcane started coming out.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. How did you feel? So, I'm the League of Legends guy. I want to know how you felt about those 3 episodes.
I mean, I play League almost as much as you do.
Now, yes.
Anymore.
Yes.
Um, I think so. Spoilers. Spoilers. We
Spoilers.
edited it. Taylor or Plague put the
But
time.
we're going to edit. Let me look. Hold up. Okay. Arcane season 2 Act 1 spoilers. I'm pretty sure Astro's in the chat right now and she has not watched it yet. Astro, get the fuck out of the chat. Get the fuck out of the chat, Astro. All right, we're going to be talking about Arcane spoilers. So if you guys have yet to watch it, this is your last warning.
This is it. We've been I firmly believe that the guy that Victor healed.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe that is Twitch.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
I fully believe it is.
When I had brought it up, you were like, oh shit. Oh, fuck.
So we had a pretty good laugh. We were laughing really hard about episode 3 because episode 3 pops up and it's like rated T for this, and then sex, and we're like, whoa! And I looked over at Plague and our other friend, and I was like, Heimerdinger sex scene's about to be wild.
Yo, I can't believe they just had Heimerdinger straight jork in it for 6
Striking
minutes.
his Heimerdonger.
Heimerdonger for 6 minutes straight, looking into the camera. I can't believe that they allowed that. Netflix, you're crazy. No, but I wholly agree. I think that guy is Twitch.
I agree. There's a lot of like relationship stuff. There's these complex relationships with like Caitlyn and Vi and
the grief that Jinx feels about Silco's death.
Yep, and then Jace and Jace bringing Victor back and him having this sense of pride and joy that his friend is around, and Victor being like, you should have let me die.
Dude, I told you to stop using Hex Tech. Like, why didn't you listen to me?
And now he's Metal Jesus.
And now he is literally Metal Jesus. It is insane. He has turned himself into a pariah.
I'm almost wondering if there's a small child that Jinx kind of adopts but doesn't want her to be there.
Yes. Yeah.
I really think she's gonna be I think she's gonna end up becoming like a champion or something.
So I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to go full tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist for you.
She is Ziggs.
Close. So I was thinking this, but I didn't bring it up during the video or during our watch party.
If you're about to say that she's Teemo,
I think she's Teemo.
She's not. So here's why. Let me tell you why. Because Teemo, the pinball machine in Jinx's in Jinx's room or whatever
Yeah.
is Teemo. Teemo is established in the lore.
Right, but all of the Yordles use glamour to hide themselves.
Right, but Teemo is never on Zon. Never in Zon.
I suppose. But it's just the hats and the goggles.
I think she's Ziggs.
That would be sick.
I think she's a young Ziggs.
That would be sick.
Because the same thing because glamour.
Yeah, because we know that
there's-
they can use glamour.
There's a character that's like a bat in Echo's tree building, and I'm like, I don't know why we don't see more of that species.
That species
then I'm
is
like-
so cool.
But I'm like, is he just another one of like Rakan and Zaya?
So the way the lore works is all of these half animal, half human people, they are all Vastaya. However, there's multiple different tribes of Vastaya, which are completely different. So like Ari and Rengar are from like a same branch of the tree, but just two opposite sticks, like way out
Sure.
there. So it kind of sets itself up for like, hey, anything you can think of that's like anthropomorphous animal human hybrid could exist and just be a Vastaya.
Yep. And then there's another Vastaya that's like a spy, but like a
she is
masseuse.
sick.
Super great design.
Yeah.
I want to say she, but we don't actually know.
We don't know. Yeah.
No one ever refers to them. Should probably be the correct terminology there. By they, them, or she, her, or see, this is where Arcane is succeeding where Concord failed.
We're going into
Because-
that too.
Yeah, because so Arcane has strong LGBTQ undertones,
Yep.
but in a way that you're like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, understandable.
Yep.
It's not Vi isn't she's lesbian. That's not Vi's thing.
No. It's so much deeper than that.
Yep. And it's to a point where non-members of the LGBTQ community can go, I understand this.
Yep.
This makes sense to me. This character is so much more than that, though.
The issue is when you make the character only that for the sake of it being that.
Correct. And this Vastaya kind of gives they them energy, which is cool.
Very cool.
I actually like the character a lot.
I believe their name is Lest, which we can't really get a lot out of that name either.
Yep. Which really you probably could look it up. There's probably a lore guide somewhere, but
Right. But we're trying to stay as far away as possible from anything like that right now. Once it's all said and done, sure.
Yep. But Lest is cool. They go into the Arcane, Echo, Jace, and Heimerdinger.
What a sick... So that is like a peak of animation there.
And it like breaks Jace's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we kind of start seeing why some of the voice lines in League are there.
Yep.
Because Echo has some voice lines for Jace and Heimerdinger, and it's really fleshing out that. Except for now, all Arcane is done because we know this is the end of Jinx and Vi's story. This season is. All it's done is made me hope that they go to Ionia, or I'm personally a big fan of the Freljord.
The Freljord would be sick.
Freljord's my favorite plane area. I'm thinking Portal. I'm thinking of Magic terms.
Realm. Region. That's what they
Yep.
use.
I think the Freljord would be fun because I love Braum. You could probably do Shurima.
You could do like an Azir Zareth story. I feel like that would resonate really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was depending on how you phrase.
There's not a ton of characters in Shurima though.
No, most of them are ascended.
Likely. So at the end of Act 1, it ends with like Demacian soldiers like pounding their chests and Uh, then a bunch of the Piltover people start pounding their chests. And I imagine that Arcane season 3 will probably be Demacia and
Noxus.
Noxus.
Yeah. I could genuinely, well, they're setting some stuff up. So now
Yep.
we've been spoiling a lot. Here comes the big spoiler. So LeBlanc is in season 2.
And Swain.
And Swain. They make brief appearances. The Black Rose is heavily involved in what's going on right now in Arcane. And for those of you who do not know, the Black Rose is basically the upper echelon secret society of Noxus. They have their fingers and toes in everything that goes on. They're very shady. Imagine the Illuminati. You are dealing with the Illuminati right now.
Yep.
And so that really, what you were saying brings up a really good point where you were like, this would really suck if they just stop Arcane here. Like they stop the League cinematic universe here because they're setting up such a powerful a powerful group of people so late into the game.
Yep. I really hope they start explaining that what's her name? Mbessa
Yep.
is there because she's angry with the Black Rose because they appointed Darius over her.
Yep. I really
the Black
hope that
Rose
gets brought
did.
up.
And there's one of like Mbessa's goons kind of looks like Darius. At first I thought it was.
Could you imagine?
Oh, if Darius was in Piltover,
stuff would be very different.
Stuff would be very different if Darius was in Piltover.
I will say this. So when season 1 came out of Arcane, Ambessa was literally a nobody to me. Like I was like, who the fuck? Mel's mom. Well, okay, whatever. Like, what a whatever character. But now, so Ambessa got released in League of Legends right before the season 2 premiere. And, she's got a lot of really good voice lines. A lot of them are still hidden because of Arcane spoilers. But you learn more about her. And then season 2, act 1 really cements the fact that Ambessa is a fucking mastermind.
Yep.
She is the master manipulator of this whole story. And she has turned Caitlyn into a dictator.
Yep.
Like,
which is gonna be like fun to see, but
so fun.
It's gonna be good to see this character like Caitlyn, or see Caitlyn grow to a point of, because really she's not that kind of character.
No, she's not, and this is a super interesting turn for her.
Yep. But I think Arcane season 3, depending on how season 2 wraps up, I think it's probably gonna be Noxus and Demacia.
Yeah, they're setting up the Black Rose.
I think there's too many characters. There's too many characters for them not to go there next, and that'll probably be what ends up happening, because there's a lot of characters that leave places to go other places.
Mm-hmm.
And then that will probably piggyback into the next season.
That genuinely could.
I was really hoping they'd go to Ionia and we get a Jace, or not Jace, a Yasuo Yone story.
Dude.
I'd get a Yasuo, blue Yasuo story.
Yasuo, blue Yasuo.
Have you ever heard of blue Yasuo?
Is that the full AP Yasuo build?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
So blue Yasuo was supposed to be a real character.
Yeah. Champion. August was talking about this. Go ahead.
He was supposed to be a playable champion in League of Legends, because if your whole team was AD, you could still play Yasuo, but not play Yasuo.
You could play the AP version of Yasuo.
His name was Blue Yasuo.
So it's so funny. So I was playing League very religiously when Yasuo got released, and I just remember. So there's never been a moment, I want to say, since then that a character came out and was just, well, this is the game now. Like this is it. 100% pick or ban. You're going to get, like, Yasuo. He made one tricks pop off. Like, everyone wanted to be a Yasuo one trick. There's multiple streamers that, climbed him from iron to challenger. Like, he changed the way the characters of League got released. He changed the way they looked at, designing these characters, because he was just everything
So
everyone
impactful.
wanted.
Yep.
And so, yeah, no, back in the day, I genuinely could see, well, we want people to be able to play Yasuo even when they shouldn't play Yasuo. So
Mm.
let's make this one.
Yep. And his name was Blue Yasuo.
That would have been the funniest fucking thing if it shipped
Oh my
like that.
god. And if it would have been right after Yasuo.
Oh, you guys like
Oh,
this? Well, get ready. Get ready for our next character. Blue Yasuo.
Blue
Yasuo 2.
Yasuo. I but I watched a short cinematic of Yasuo and Yone, and man, I'm like,
So fucking good.
I want
So,
give.
me
And
and...
I actually don't like Yone as a character like at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think Yone is just lame Yasuo.
No! Don't say... So, I'm a Yone stan. I think his... Hey, look, you could play Yasuo or cooler Yasuo.
Which cooler Yasuo is just Yasuo, and Yasuo is now Yone.
And blue Yasuo's there, and then they all kiss.
I just something about Yone I just don't like.
He's
I think it's
edgy.
because he's edgy, and everyone thinks they can play fucking Yone,
Not
and they
everyone can
can't.
play Yone.
And they can't.
No.
Even in Worlds, champs think they can play Yone, or the pro players think they can play Yone, and then it fucks their team.
Yep. Yone is very much a... So, everyone always jokes about, like, Yasuo and Vayne being, like, 1v9 champions. Yone is the 1v9 champion. Like, you are either hurting your team exponentially, or you are the god among men fighting everything, including your team.
Mm-hmm.
God. So, I was going to say, about that specific cinematic, that is one of both mine and my wife's favorite. We hold the Spirit Blossom, which is what that's derived from, in very high regards. I feel like 2020, when Spirit Blossom came out, was probably when League was at its peak. And that event was like a 2-month long event with all these cinematic videos, and it ended on that. Like the story of Yasuo and Yone and their history and how it bleeds into reality, and like this dream anime world is actually like a different... Very good cinematic, some of the best choreography, and watching them, like, watching Yasuo get his forgiveness, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not what he wanted. He's like, kill me, I deserve to die. No, bitch, I forgive you, deal with that. So good.
Man. But no, Arcane's been fun. I like it a lot. You get this. We get to see the first stages of everyone thinks Warwick.
They could still pull the rug out from under us. It might be something completely different.
It might be Mundo.
Oh, fuck.
Because I think it was a little too bulky to be Warwick. I genuinely think it's Mundo.
If we get Mundo... Okay.
I think it's Mundo.
If Vander becomes Mundo and not Warwick, insane.
Because no, I think Vander still becomes Warwick, but I think
it's a red herring.
I think we get Mundo before we get Warwick.
That would
because
be amazing.
There's too much stuff with the wolves. There's too much stuff with the wolves for Warwick to not show up.
Yeah.
But this guy's way too bulky to be Warwick, I think.
It does look... I was thinking the same thing.
Now I'm looking at a clearer picture of it, and maybe it is, but man,
they still could pull the rug out from under us. It could be a red herring. They've kind of done it before in season 1 with, like, Silco actually dying.
Yeah. Like I said, it has like the tower thing on his back, like Warwick.
But Mundo also has those on his shoulders.
Yeah. This just looks too beefy to be Warwick. Because compared to Cinch down here.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't think he becomes he becomes Mundo, but I do think Xander still becomes Warwick. But I think with Mundo, I think that's when Singed makes Twitch and Warwick.
Yeah. That was kind of his test. Keep them more human until he starts going a little crazier.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
dude.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said,
We don't know.
I
It's
saw it.
fun to talk about.
I saw it and I was like, man, because at the other hand, the legs look very canine like.
Yeah.
It looks like there might be some fur on his arms. The skull might be canine like. It's tough.
It's fun to
It's
theory craft.
Yep. And we're not seeing any like there's a lot of champs that are Ian's on right now.
Yep.
And we haven't seen them yet.
There are. There's one in particular that I genuinely am kind of
Fired
shocked.
up and ready to serve.
So Victor makes Blitzcrank.
Yep.
And so Victor's not Victor yet.
But Victor or Blitzcrank exists currently. Blitzcrank existed before Victor got a hold of him.
Oh right, he was just kind of a pile of scraps.
Yes. Well, the Blitzcrank robot exists. But Blitzcrank himself doesn't exist till Victor gets a hold of him.
Yeah, the robot's there, but the soul is not there.
Yeah.
That would be sick to see.
That's my understanding of Blitzcrank is the soul is not in the robot yet, but the robots exist as like just machines,
like assembly workers,
yeah,
robot 29468.
Yep.
Gotcha. I almost just broke all my models. Oh shit.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very nice.
But like I said, Victor heals some guy from the ick, and I think that's Twitch. I genuinely do.
I think Victor isn't necessarily healing them the way he thinks he's healing them.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like unlocking their latent potential for someone to come in and fuck with them, like Singed. Like, oh yeah, you're not diseased anymore, but all of that is still inside of you, and now it's festering.
Could be. We'll see. Probably watch the next 3 episodes on Saturday.
Yep. Technically, the next time you're going to hear from us, both Act 2 and Act 3 will be out. Correct?
That is true. Yep.
Yeah. So we will have the full Arcane hierarchy tier list. Holy shit, can't believe this moment happened.
Well, actually, it'll be doing the math here. Arcane might just be done next time we do the pod, because next time we're supposed to do the pod is Thanksgiving.
You're right, that Thursday. So no matter what, it will be done, because we probably won't record on Thanksgiving Day.
So the 12th?
Yeah. In 2 days, in 2 days, the next set comes out.
Yep.
And then 1 week from then, the next set comes. Yeah, it'll definitely be done then.
Yep.
So you'll hear it here first. Probably, actually, no, not at all first.
Not
but
at all
you'll hear
first.
it here.
But yeah, we really enjoyed it. Our friend was disassembling a pop can.
Oh my god, you just gave me a PTSD flashback.
I was sitting there and we were watching. I looked over at them and they just had this pop can just in tiny confetti on their lap.
No tools.
No tools.
They were ripping it by hand, and I was like, hey, "Fucking stop!"
Insane.
Stop.
Crazy behavior.
I thought they were gonna eat them afterwards. Just I got a nice little pile here.
But no, why don't I hear your thoughts, Plague?
So I feel like season 3 starts off extremely strong. So I've been trying to get a lot of people into Arcane because it's a very good way to get into League of Legends lore.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I consistently hear is if you're not a fan of League of Legends, the first 3 episodes of season 1 are rough.
Yeah, first 3 episodes of season 1 are fan service.
It is fan service.
Like, look, it's Heimerdinger.
Oh, wow.
Look, it's Jace. Look, it's Victor.
They're trying to set stuff up for people who know, but for someone coming in blind, it's
tough.
It's tough. Season 2 starts off strong. Like, it's swinging from episode 1. And I feel like that's really, really good. I feel like, the way that the characters are kind of like things are kind of hitting the ground running. And a lot of these
Yep.
characters' relationships are either blossoming or getting destroyed in a very natural, organic way. So, like we had said before, with Victor coming out of his stasis after the
Hmm.
explosion and being like, you should have let me die. Fuck you, Jace. No, I'm not. No. And like that makes sense. And it's literally like a 1 minute interaction where then Victor leaves, but it makes so much sense. And it's so great to see these characters. This sounds terrible. It's so great to see them suffer.
Yeah.
It's something you don't see in the lore. It's something you don't see
No,
in the game.
none of these characters are doing well.
No. Heimerdinger's doing great.
Heimerdinger's chilling. He also there's a scene where Heimerdinger breaks into the campus.
Yeah.
It's his building.
It's his building, but he's doing it all like Mission Impossible.
He's like rolling around and
Hiding around corners.
and Echo's just walking behind him.
It's like this. You own this building. This is your building.
And then Jace is in there and he's like, Jace, have you been sleeping in here?
Jace, have you seen my massive donger?
I
And then he starts jorking it for 6 minutes straight. Like, I kid you not.
Whole minutes.
Insane.
6 minutes of episode 3 is just Heimer's donger.
Heimer's donger. No, I think that season 2 starts off really good, and I feel like it's keeping people in. I feel like if they did another set of like the first 3 episodes of season 1 to remember, set up, recap, people would have probably fallen off. That's not happening here.
Nope, it's like it starts with Jinx firing the rocket.
Yeah, like where season 1 ends, this hits the ground right after.
Yep.
It's great. The animations, you can tell that there's a lot more budget.
Mm-hmm.
It looks phenomenal, and season 1 looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. There's a character, and I can't think of his name, but there's a character with like a shield.
Yep.
That basically joins Vi and Caitlyn's like elite hit squad.
Mm-hmm.
After day drinking with Vi all day long, and they start like the Demacia or the Noxians and the other members of this team. There's like a young woman and like a fish guy.
Yep.
They start doing it too, and the guy with the shield never does, and he walks away.
I'm really excited to see what's going on there
because he's loyal to Vi.
Mm-hmm.
And Vi's not there when this is all happening.
No, he knows
because Caitlyn left her in the dark.
Yeah.
Which, that is such. You think about that scene, and you think back to season 1 when Vi leaves Powder in Zaun.
Yeah, in the dust.
And the parallels are.
It's very strong.
They cooked. They cooked with that.
Yep, they definitely cooked with that. There's a lot of parallels of like what's happening to Powder is now happening to Vi. She's getting left to the side. Vi's breaking. Like, Vi has had such a shit life. Lost their parents just like Powder. Went to jail for 7 years. Lost Vander, their father. Like, everything's gone wrong. And yet Vi, who was kind of holding it together, we're watching her break.
Yep.
It's like, again, it sucks to say,
great.
but it's great.
Fantastic.
It's watching these characters that, in game, they're like, I'm going to hit you hard and I'm going to hit you harder. To be like,
I'm Punch Girl.
To like be these fleshed out, in-depth characters, which, like we were stating earlier, it really sucks when things like, Concord focus too much on what they think people want to hear, when what people really want is in-depth characters.
Yeah, we want inclusion, but we don't want inclusion for inclusion's sake.
Yes. We want good characters above all else. It doesn't matter what that character is. If it's a good written character, dude, hell yeah.
Speaking of Concord, Bleg.
Yeah.
Everyone got fired. Everyone got fired.
Sorry, I just punched my mic. The whole fucking studio in flames.
I wonder. So we've been following the Concord story pretty close. What a disaster.
Yep.
Now, there's another game that's kind of in the spotlight for similar things,
Mm-hmm.
which is Dragon Age Veilguard. I was a huge fan of Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is in my top 5 games of all time.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah, I love Dragon Age Origins. Man.
Yeah.
So, one of the issues that people are having is it's this magical fantasy land. For me, this is a non-issue. I don't see why. It's because gamers.
Gamers.
The average gamer can sometimes throw fits about odd things.
Yep.
In this game, in character customization, you can give your character top scars, top surgery scars.
Yep.
Um,
Very inclusive. I like that. You know, for people that have gone through stuff like that, it's nice to
so
see.
so the issue is this is like a magical fantasy land where that's not wouldn't typically be an option. So people are like, whatever. I got bigger things to worry about. What I don't love is if you're a trans character, you have special. From what I understand, I haven't played the game. Full disclosure, my understanding is there's dialogue options that are only available if you're a trans character. And if you're playing a Dragon Age game, you're probably playing the game because you like the companions.
Right.
That's like the whole shtick of Dragon Age. And if you can't explore all the options unless you're a certain character,
Okay, I did not know about this whatsoever.
And that's just my understanding. That might just be Neckbeard raging on the Reddit.
Gotcha.
We spent quite a few hours in the office at where I work talking about it. Listen, I got bigger things to worry about.
Right. However, I will say that I think you've hit the nail on the head with BioWare specifically. BioWare games are not about gameplay. People could give a shit less. They want fun interactions with the companions, both Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
And when you take away those interactions from the average player base, it creates some feel bads.
Yeah. Now my question is what is being locked behind this player choice? Is it anything like super heavy story related?
I don't know.
Because if it's like, here's the thing, and playing devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just dialogue options regarding them, being trans, like you have to play a trans character, you're gonna speak like a trans character.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't see what the issue is, because the people that are getting mad about this would never pick those options to begin with.
Yep.
But if it is like you have to play this specific type of character in order to get this specific companion, or to get this specific dungeon, or you get better loot if you're this specific character, then, my mindset, and I'm very different from a lot of people, my mindset is, oh, fuck, well, I'm going to play the character that gives me the best chances of beating the game.
Yeah.
But for a lot of these people that are upset, getting locked out of content like that for something that you wouldn't play blind, it sucks.
It's potentially, a valid that if that's really the case. Like I said, I haven't played Veilguard. I don't think Plague you've played Veilguard either.
I have not.
If that's really the case where like there's special interactions locked behind that, and you're locking stuff away because your ex character, let's look at Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate, you can be anyone and be with anyone.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate lets you make a LGBTQ character. Lets you make whatever kind of character you want. It doesn't lock you out of anything in the game.
No, it only adds like unnecessary dialogue that would, like, let's say if I'm playing a tiefling in Baldur's Gate 3, I'm going to speak like a tiefling, I'm going to talk like a tiefling, I'm going to say things like a tiefling.
Yep.
If I'm playing human, I'm going to speak like a human, so on and so forth. It doesn't lock you out from anything. In fact, if it does, every single character type has that. Like
Yep.
they have something specifically for them. So
Yep.
you're not getting locked out of everything. You get your own things for what you pick.
Yep. You don't lose out on voice interactions with Halsin because you're playing an elf.
Yep.
Or because you're playing a druid or
Yeah. Whereas, like, if you're playing a drow in Baldur's Gate 3, you're going to have a whole different set of dialogue options than if you were playing a halfling. Like drows in the world, completely hated. Everyone fucking hates drows. But, halflings, they're going to have their own deals, in a completely different part of the game that drows wouldn't get.
Yep.
So, when it's done like that, everyone gets something special, then nobody's special. And in this case, that's good.
Yep.
But, when you're locking content behind one specific thing, and if that's the only way to get that content or any special content, then I can see it being an issue.
Like I said, that's what I understand as the Rob. Correct us in the comments.
Yeah, correct us in the comments. If we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, please let us know. We want to make sure that we report on things that are factual.
Yep. Like I said, that was my understanding of what the big issue is of Veilguard.
I will say, so now this is more of a personal take. I don't think BioWare has made a good game since... I think they've made one good game, and that's Mass Effect 2. And the hot take, I don't like BioWare. But I will say that one thing I do know is that people are not
Playing BioWare, play the game.
Yeah, they're not replaying these games hundreds of times over to get all of these options. They're playing through to have their one game with their set, like, my choices matter, what my character did mattered, and all these games. I'm not replaying. So when you, again, lock content, that really sucks.
Yep. Sure freaking does.
But yeah, no, fucking Concord, dead.
Dead.
Who could have seen that coming, Justy?
I think we did.
I think we did. I think we called it like every week.
Because they focused too much on the inclusion for inclusion's sake and didn't give their characters any depth other than that.
Yeah. And I like I said,
they
want
missed the
good
mark.
characters.
They missed the mark because of that, because they didn't include anything about those characters other than their LGBT. That's not the right way to word that. Other than their sexual orientation.
Yep. And it was basically designed with that in mind instead of that being a part of the character.
Instead of it being like in League where it's like, oh, Vi has this horrible tragic backstory. ... Also in a relationship with Caitlyn.
Yep. Oh shit, really? That's crazy.
You go to Caitlyn's page, Caitlyn is ... in a relationship with Vi.
Yep. Oh shit, that's crazy. That's all it is. But yeah, no, I was in the...
Well, even go, Graves and Twisted Fate. ... in a relationship with each other.
Yep. They have something built on these characters, which...
I didn't know that TF and Graves were in a relationship till like 2 months ago.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Because it matters, but it doesn't matter.
Right. For those of you who want to dig deeper, you can find some cool things. Yeah. But, once you find that out, this voice line makes sense. These things make sense. But it's because that the spotlight's not on, like, I'm going to use an example that isn't something LGBT related. So, okay, let's say I'm a character in a video game. Plague is a character in a video game. Did you know that Plague has autism? He's the autism character. Look at him in all of his autistic glory, doing all these autistic things. People would hate me as a character. People would fucking be like, oh my God, they're just including this guy because so on and so forth. Yep. But if it was like, hey, Taylor, or fuck me, whatever.
I doxed himself.
I doxed myself and my wife. God damn it.
Share your address.
No, fuck you. Not this time. You're not getting me again. But if they were like, oh, Plague, Plague was in the War of Crips Peel, and he fought off the last tirade and, had all this stuff going on. And he also seems to really have an attraction towards trains. Oh, well, that might mean, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool. There's some things there. But it's a good character. It's a good written character, but there's some things there. That's the difference. That's the thing.
yep.
When the spotlight's on it and it's just big neon sign flashing the thing, it doesn't matter what it is. People are going to be like, oh, fuck. All right, whatever. I don't
Yep.
care.
It's the same thing with like gun girl, gun. She has gun. She's woman.
Woman with gun and
gun.
muscle
Gun.
girl. Oh, ooga. It
Now
gets
this
annoying.
can never be monetized.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I've doomed
that's
us
the same
both.
thing. That's the same exact thing though. Like
Yeah.
when the spotlight's on, that's when people start getting mad. When it's,
Mhm.
something, it's just another part of this huge character's backstory and appeal, then there's no issue. I will say, back on the Concord thing for a little bit. So I was in the boat, and I don't think we've ever seen this happen. Like, we were saying that before, we're like, wow, they shut the game down after 2 weeks. That's never happened. Here's another thing. So I found out that Concord cost over $400 million. $400
Oh.
million to make over the course of 8 years. That is a big chunk of change to throw away. And I was under the impression that, okay, you know what, Concord shut down. People didn't like it. The team's gonna get together, talk with Sony because Sony gave them $400 million to be like, okay, we're gonna give you an extra 2 years, fix all this, do this, do this, do this. We will re-release the game, and things are going, we'll go from there, and it'll be a brand new game. Nope, they're just like, you know what? 400 million gone. We're shutting it down. Everything's shut down. The game's not getting re-released. That's insane. That has never happened.
Never.
Never.
Sorry, my brother texted me.
Oh, you're all good.
Yeah, no, it's never happened before. It's insane. I think a lot of gaming will. I think a lot of game studios should study this.
I agree. I think people should do their thesis statement on why Concord failed.
Yep.
Because games are not going to be the same after this.
Nope.
And we also called it when Space Marine 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
We just want shittier games that cost less to make but are more fun to play.
Yeah.
We don't need these $400 million budget games.
Yeah. Space Marine is the best part of an Xbox game.
Yep, it's all the things you remember from playing Gears of War with your boys back in 2012. And that's what people want. We want good, fun gameplay.
Yep.
It's
We do.
just, it's 400 million. And they're like, fuck it, throw it away.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
It's insane. It's crazy.
It's wackus bonkus even.
It is wackus bongus. Like I said, no one cares how inclusive your game is if it's. Also, another thing, no one cares how inclusive it is if it's a bad game.
If the game is bad,
And not bad like, oh, the story's not that deep, but man, is it a fun run and gun.
yeah, right? Like I love a game called Army of Two. That game
Yep.
has fucking terribly written. But man, playing with the boy, 2v100. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or look at like Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
There's like 6 players that can tell you the story of Dark Souls 1.
Yeah. But let me tell you, there's plenty of people that have played through that game.
There's lots of people.
Times.
There's tons of people like my favorite game is Dark Souls 1.
Yep.
Couldn't tell you the story.
Couldn't tell you the story. I don't even remember any of the characters' names.
Yep.
But the gameplay was just that good that it started a whole new genre of game.
Yep.
And that's what people want.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to try that. It all boils down to you don't have to try that hard to make something great.
Well, Concord, in a little bit of devil's advocate, Concord also came out 10 years too late.
Yeah. If Concord came out back in 2014, like 2016, when Overwatch came out,
Yep.
It could have been a real contender.
Yep.
But how many fucking hero shooters have we gone through?
Too many. Too many. And now we got Marvel coming out. And the Marvel one seems really, really good.
Seems really good. And, you know, that's like the only way that a new hero shooter can work, because these are already characters that you care about. These are already characters you know. You don't have to spend all this time trying to write new characters. Put fucking Spider-Man in it. People love Spider-Man.
Yep.
You know, that's how we get it. You either need to do something new or do something so good that it becomes the new standard.
Yeah.
And
nope, exactly.
Concord was neither.
Yep.
It was the same thing you're used to, but just okay at best. And it had a lot of other problems going on with it.
And that's the end of Concord.
That's it.
We won't talk about it again on the podcast.
Unless if somehow it rises from the ashes.
It's
Concord 2.
Tune in when we get the studio and we have a physical copy of Concord on the bookshelf.
Yeah, tune in to where I think the name of the studio is Firewalk. Tune in when we, as a podcast, buy Firewalk Studios and we start making our own Concord. Could happen. Could happen. Yeah. Speaking of good games, which we weren't talking about for a little bit, but I wanted to talk about some good games. I've been playing some stuff recently.
Have you?
I have. So, those of you who know me, and I've said it millions of times, but I'm going to say it again. I love my 100-hour JRPGs. I absolutely love them. True. I adore these types of games. You can just get lost in the world because it's just so big and so open. And a new one came out, a new one that I've been looking forward to, called Metaphor ReFantazio. Have you heard about Metaphor ReFantazio?
I have, but we've talked about it before.
Fair. So, I'm a big fan of Atlas as a studio. They make some of my favorite games ever with the Persona series. They also are in the Sega as a company. And Sega makes another JRPG that I really love, which is the Yakuza franchise, the Like a Dragon franchise. So I was like, oh, cool. A brand new JRPG from the studio that I absolutely adore. This game is just fucking Persona 6. It is Persona. It is a new Persona game, and that's great. I mean that in a good way.
Right.
Like everything that you love from that series is in this game, except it's now in a fantasy setting instead of a high school setting.
Sure.
Do you want to know what Metaphor ReFantazio is about?
Hit me.
Racism.
Oh,
buzzword. Fantasy racism. Here's a synopsis for those of you who aren't aware of what this game is. So, there are 9 tribes, and these tribes all look very different. And, one tribe has horns, another tribe has wings, one tribe has weird jewel eyes, kinda, but there's 9 of them. The royal family was born into this tribe. And this tribe only likes these tribes. And your main character happens to be the gutter of the tribes. Like the absolute, everyone hates this type of person. They are the absolute worst. How dare you even bother me with your presence? There's a stat in Metaphor that you can upgrade called Tolerance. It's where you learn about other tribes and become more understanding. I know I'm not doing a good job of selling you on this game.
I'm not sold.
But it is.
I'm not sold on your fantasy racism game.
So
calm down, Frieza.
It's the story of how. So I've played about 20 hours of it so far. So I'm only a fifth of the way done. But I can definitely tell that the point of the story is your party becomes, one of every member of each tribe. And you fight through the trials and tribulations to become the next king. And you do so by, actually going out and understanding these different tribes and these people, what they are, who they are, what they do, what's important to them. And, you win their hearts over, become king, and, you're trying to make a utopia. There's a really, really cool thing that it does where, the main character has this book. It's a novel. It's a fantasy novel in their world. And it is just hey, there are giant metropolitan cities with cars and or with automobiles that run on wheels and no one hates each other. And the only reason why people move forward is because they all help each other out and love each other. Well, what the fuck? That's definitely a fantasy novel. That would never happen here. It's basically a parallel to the utopic real world. And, it's so far, the gameplay is fantastic. It's a turn-based RPG that has quality of life of, if you don't like turn-based, you could just punch them. Just go out and punch them. Story so far is really good, and they set it up very well from the very beginning that, hey, you know what? There's a lot of shit going on and being said about all of these different tribes. Your entire party is going to be one of each, and you get to learn from them all of these different cultures and people. And sometimes it's nice to kind of, even if it is in a fantasy setting, just kind of be reminded. Oh,
Nope.
but
Nope.
yeah, that's Metaphor ReFantazio. That has been absolutely fantastic. For those of you who have been waiting for me to continue my Silent Hill 2 playthrough, I'm getting there.
It's even in Stream Elements. Stream Elements on the stream even was like, hey,
Silent Hill 2? I fixed it.
shenanigans.
I did fix it. But oh, hi, lady. But I will be getting back to it. I have not been in the mindset to play my favorite game
Yeah.
for a while. However, I will say, for those of you curious, because I've actually had some old viewers of mine reach out and be like, hey, how do you feel about this game? How do you feel about the remake? I think that Bloober Team is doing an absolute fantastic job. And I think that this is going to become the new standard for Silent Hill 2. Like, I can go out and tell people, hey, don't spend $400 on a PS2 version. Just buy the remake. It's even better.
I watched you play that for a long time on stream.
Yeah. No, it's very good. And I will be streaming it again. Probably sometime this coming week. Things are kind of working out. So got some playing games to play and things to do. So
Yeah. I too am in the same boat.
yeah.
I should be starting to stream up again.
Harvest kicked our ass. Harvest kicked our
it.
ass.
Yeah. So, but that's about it for us, guys.
Yeah, I think that that puts a pin in it for right now. You guys can, if you want to check out that Silent Hill 2 stream, that's going to be at twitch.tv/Big Papa Plague. You're here right now. We will at some point actually get a channel. We say this every time.
Every time, we still haven't done it.
We still haven't done it.
We're on other platforms now, though.
We are on other platforms. We're on everywhere that you can get your podcasts. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I couldn't catch it live, but I really want to listen. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you want, we're there, baby. So
now you can't see me pick my nose.
That's true. You won't get the video experience, and that's completely fine. Some people were like, I don't want to stare at these two hooligans for an hour and a half every 2 weeks. And that's fine. To each their own. But if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us anywhere that you listen to your most popular podcasts.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Well,
good episode, Plague.
Good episode, Justy. Catch you next time.
Yeah, as always. Take care of yourself. Drink water.
I love you all. You're all so sweet. You're all sweet little babies. Goodbye.
Bye.